Alright, let's go over this test. When m is positive, the line goes up. When m is negative, and m is the slope, don't forget. So when the slope is negative, the line goes down. When m, the slope is less than 1, the answer is right here. It is less steep. When m is greater than 1, it is more steep. Alright, let's figure out the slope. Okay, to figure out the slope. x1, y1, x2, y2. Plug it in the formula. y2 is negative 7 minus y1 is negative 19. These two minuses become a big old plus. Then x2, negative 2, minus x1 is 1. This becomes a positive 12. This becomes a negative 3. You can reduce this. 12 over negative 3 is negative 4 over 1 or negative 4. So either one is correct. Next one, label the points again. x1, x2, y2. Mount it to all of them. x1, y1, x2, y2, x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay. So number 6. y2, negative 15, minus y1, negative 16. Minus turns positive. x2 is right here, negative 7 minus x1, this one, 19. If you reduce this, you will get 1 over negative 26. Number 7, y2 and y1. 8 minus negative 13, which turns to a plus, and then 17 minus 17. 8 plus 13 is 21, divide by 0. Whenever 0 is in the denominator, like it is right now, denominator, you have undefined. So that was number 7. Number 8. y2, y1. Negative 15 minus 0. x2 is negative 11 minus 3. Negative 15 minus 0 is negative 15. Negative 11 minus 3 is negative 14. A negative over negative makes positive, so this is really 15 over 14. Okay, on this one. This line is a vertical line, straight up and down. Up and down lines have a slope of undefined. The x-intercept crosses the x-axis. This is the x-axis. Where does that blue line cross it? Right there in the middle, at 0. Where does this line cross the y? Crosses it everywhere. So at any point would be fine on the y-axis. So it doesn't matter. On the next one, the slope. This is what you do rise over run. So let's see, we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1, 2. And we're going to the left 2, so it's negative 2. Reduce it by 2 and you get negative 2 over 1 or negative 2, that's fine. The x-intercept, where does it cross the x-axis? Here's the x-axis. It crosses about right there. Negative 1, negative 2, about negative 2.5. comma 0. Where does it cross the y? Right there. 0, -5. Over here we need to pick a point, so I'm going to pick this one right there. Oh. This one right there, and this one over here. Which happens to be the y-intercept. This is where it crosses the y. Here's the y-axis. 0, -2. And this is the x-axis, and it crosses at 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 0. Slope, rise over run. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reduced, it becomes 1/2. 1/2. Okay, here we go. 4x plus 2y equals 14. You gotta solve for y, so subtract 4x. That goes away. A lot of you here want to put 14 minus 4, but you can't. One's a number, one's a letter. You can't. That's 2y equals. Bring down the 4. It's a -4x. What type of 14 is that? It's positive. Then divide everything by 2. That becomes a big 1, remember. So y equals -4 divided by 2 is -2. Bring down the x. 14 divided by 2 is a positive 7. Y equals 2 or -2x plus 7. That's the slope, and that's the y-intercept. This is the slope, and that's the y-intercept. Then all you do is put it in the calculator and get 2 points. There's one here at 7, and then right here. And then you connect it with a line, of course, except yours will look straight. Here's the next one. Subtract 9x. Bring down the 21y equals -9x plus 42. Then divide everything by 21. This becomes a big 1. Now you can reduce this. -9 over 21, you can divide each one by 3, and you'll get -3 over 7. 42 over 21, you can reduce it to 2. So y equals -3 over 7 x plus 2. I forgot the x over here. X. There we go. -3 over 7 is the slope. 2 is the y-intercept. Then you just plot the points. Put in the calculator. There's a point there. And there's one about there. Connect your line. The next one, number 14. For y is less than 12x plus 24. The x is already on the right hand side, so you don't have to do anything. Just leave it alone. All you have to do is divide by 4. That becomes a big 1. Since we divided by +4, you leave the symbol the same. 12 over 4 is 3. And 24 divided by 4 is 6. So y is less than 3x plus 6. That's the slope 3. Y-intercept is 6. The line will be dotted. Why? Because this does not have a line. If it had a line underneath, then it would have to be full line. But right now it's just a regular dotted line. This is less than, so you shade under or less or below, either way. So we graph it. There's one there at 6. And then about here. And then it is a dotted line, so and then we have to color it underneath. This is under. And the last question here. 6x minus 9y is less than or equal to 18. Right away you should see this has a line there, so this has to be a full line. Okay, subtract 6x, negative 9y less than or equal to negative 6x plus 18. Because you cannot combine these, they're different. Divide by negative 9. This becomes a big 1. Why? Now remember, we divided by a negative 9. When you divide by a negative number, this sign flips over. So not less than anymore, it is now greater than or equal to. You can reduce this. A negative over a negative is now positive, and 6 over 9 is really 2/3. And then 18 divided by negative 9 is a negative 2. So y is greater than or equal to 2/3 x minus 2. The slope is always a number in front of x, so it's just 2/3. The b is a number all by itself at the very end, negative 2. And then this says greater than, so that means we're going to color above. So there's a point here, negative 2. And there's one about here. It's going to be a regular line, a full line. There we go. And shade above, color above it. There we go.